for school. Okay, so I am a coach, but I'm a specific type of coach, right? I'm a teacher. I'm a specific type of teacher. I teach science to high schoolers, and as a coach, I coach scientific thinking, okay? My husband, he's a consultant. His strategic consultant. He does competition analysis for your business. He'll look at data. This is his background. He was an intelligence analyst. He did intelligence analysis. He was an analyst. Okay? So, what you can do is come up with strategy and tactics. He'll come up with strategy. The big moves. The long game. Excuse me. Where I start is with the strategic objective. We'll get there. Ooh, I need coffee. Okay, I start with your strategic objective. Where are we going? And then we come back and we look at where are we standing now? What's your current state? Here's the deal. I'm a mystic and a scientist. Okay? You got to meditate on, look, this is a third eye, okay? Crossing his legs. You have to meditate on your strategic vision, your objective, and look at it with like a oneness of mind. You have to really laser focus your desire. Now, what this does is it's forward thinking. Or like my therapist tells me about how it is like, let's talk about abstinence. I'm sober. I don't drink booze. There's a different part of your brain, let's say, a different part of your being that is activated and lights up when you're thinking about doing something positive, like a game night with friends, family dinner, coffee get-together, catching up with friends. Like the presence of connection and community lights up a part of you. Worrying about running away from or avoiding or not drinking, I just got to get my mind off. I just got to stop thinking about drinking. It's like this obsessive doubt, fear spiral. And there's two states of consciousness. One of them is, what are you going towards? And one of it is, I really don't want to, I'm worried about this. And what do you not want? What are you moving away from? So, and my husband always says is that love and fear can't exist together. If you're standing in love, there isn't room for the fear and anxiety. So it's also when you're overcome by fear and anxiety, doubt, worry, what if this happens? What if that happens? Paranoia, what if so-and-so is out to get me? All this. You're not thinking about the goal. You're not thinking about the strategic objective. You're not thinking about the vision. And you need to have like a oneness of mind. This is what you're focused on. However, this is far in the future. And you still have to be grounded where you're at right now. You can't just live in the clouds. It's spirit and body. Magic is, yes, working in this realm, but also with the nitty-gritty building blocks, the materia, your body, and whatever you're working with, matter, dust, okay? You got to take assessment, where are you actually right now? And both these things are pretty slippery. Because of the mind, everything is mind, and the rest is the dream, even the dust. Earth and mind, dust and vision. And you are the bridge between the two. Now, in the kata, when I'm teaching scientific thinking, the structure and the laws and the principles that exist in the mind reveal themselves in the way that the matter behaves. Okay? A law and a principle applies in all situations. And it reveals something about how things are. Which is why science is so cool. That we can measure our environment. But you're not just measuring stuff arbitrarily. You measure within a specific context. So what it is that up here for 3, okay, you have a target state. This is where my vision, but I need a somewhere in between here and here to move towards today. And I literally mean today, y'all. If we're gonna set up an experiment, have a hypothesis, and it's gonna take you a week to get the results, that's too big. I'm really talking, this is something that you do on the daily. This is something that you do on the daily. Because you have to rewire your brain. This is a way of thinking. Mike Rother, who I got this from, who everybody gets the kata from. Mike Rother is like, if you always cross your arms, for me, right over left, it feels, actually I can't do it. Okay. It feels really weird to go left over right. Really weird. But if I practice it every day, eventually I'll hit this plateau where, it's natural, it's a piece of cake. But you gotta actually actively practice crossing your arms the other way. Which is why you have to do this daily, okay? So, we have this target condition, a goal that we can reach today that'll get us closer to this goal, our strategic objective. And then what are we doing? Plan, do, check, act. They call this the PDCA loop. And repeat. This is scientific experimentation. This is saying, I believe if I do X, I will see these results. If it's going well, these are what I'll see. If things are not going according to plan, I'll get these results. This is when I stop. This is when I pivot. This is what it looks like when I keep going. And you say, let's come back tomorrow and talk about it. And you do this every day. This is the improvement kata. It comes from Toyota. Mike Rother codified it, wrote it in a book. We all get to use it and benefit from it. It's also exactly what was in The Science of Getting Rich. Wallace Wattles talks about how you hold the vision in mind, but you do today's work today. Don't worry about tomorrow. So the reason that we keep, the part of this work is always reminding yourself of that strategic objective. Always keeping the vision in mind. Okay? Always keeping that vision in mind. You do this to, he's in a nice protective bubble. So if any fiery arrows of doubt or worry come at him, keeping the vision in mind is going to protect you from getting stuck. It's because it's 2 different states of consciousness. If you're holding this one, you can't hold the arrows. All right? This is your barrier to the distraction. The other barrier to distraction is action. Okay, so on our kata, there is a man who is always moving forward. Y'all, action overcomes fear. There are 2 ways to knock the fear arrows so that they'd never hit you. Moving and holding the vision in mind. A lot of the times when we are worrying, it's because we're procrastinating, and all that's happened is that all this energy that was allotted for today's work is getting spent on false vision, on the wrong vision. Okay? You've got all these worries and distractions, and you're just pouring energy into the fake world. And I think you might be being harvested. There might be an entity out there that wants you to do that because it's feeding off of you. And that could be a metaphor or it could be literal. It doesn't really matter. What matters is, you know how like, and this is the exact opposite if you're working out. It's like, imagine a pack of zombies is running after you. It's like, there's not actually zombies running after you, but it might make you run a little faster. If it helps to think that you're feeding a false world, a false or some sort of vampiric entity or whatever, maybe that'll help. I don't know. It doesn't even have to be all that devious or dark. It's just not yours. You're feeding someone else's plan with your doubt and worry and energy. Why? Okay, and the other piece I wanted to talk about is that this stuff is psychosocial. Okay? It requires, look at me. This is a hat. I'm a coach. Okay. And I thought I was making a baseball cap. Okay. I'm a learner. Okay? And, okay, they have ridiculous faces. You guys have a role to play together. It's not something that you can do alone. I just saw, I think it was Tony Robbins, it might have been Grant Cardone, but I think it was Tony Robbins doing this interview with Jordan Peterson, and they were talking about how there was this clinical study done on his program, Tony Robbins' program, on the transformative power of what he does. And it was the key piece there, and they compared it. It was a beautiful, well-designed study, double-blind, randomly assorted to groups. It was done by Stanford, and they were comparing the group that did his program, his protocol, with like people who did gratitude journals, who did psychedelics, who did, because all those things had been statistically proven to help with depression. But it's not something you can do by yourself. I know people are always, I've heard it as if you're supposed to I've heard it said that the hardest person to lead is yourself. So you got to start with yourself. Maybe there's some faulty logic there. It's like, okay, the hardest person to lead is yourself because the coach-learner relationship, the teacher-student relationship, a parent-child relationship is a relationship. You can't have a relationship with yourself. Okay? Even when I have to coach myself, it's like I have to do some sort of role-playing where I sit with an empty chair and I am like talking to Sid as learner, talking to coach, talking to Sid as coach, right? I just got confused there because it's just not as effective. Go seek out a mentor. Go seek out a coach. Because we need this, we create a polarity when you do this. Coach, teacher, coach, learner, teacher, student. Okay, you create a polarity, and that polarity is going to be the secret sauce to help you move. I don't know, magnets have a polarity, right? If you move a magnet through a copper coil, you can generate electricity. Nothing happens when that thing is standing still. Okay? You need to like continually disturb the field. And that is what the coach does. What I do is I use a set of questions from the improvement kata that just help you create iterative experiments and reflect on them to keep moving towards your strategic objective, propelling you to choose one daily action that moves you closer to your goal each day, And while we're doing this, we are rewiring your brain to give you this scientific thinking mindset that's going to help you navigate gray areas in your life. The reason we need a coach is because I know this. I tried to explain. It's like you've got the mind and the dream. You've got the laws, and the dust. You've got mind and matter. You've got spirit and materia. You have both things. And they are slippery and mutable. All right. I'm sort of losing it. Because you need the thing to bridge them. If you're in a dream and you look at an element in the dream, it starts to change. If you're bullshitting yourself and you don't write down that bullshit thought that you're claiming as your reality, if someone starts to question you about it, it's going to change. It's going to morph. It's going to shapeshift to keep trying to BS you. And all of us have this problem. I sure as hell do. Okay? Where I'm BSing myself, which is why I need someone to call me out. I need someone to shine a light on the stuff that's hiding in my blind spot. Acting a fool. Sabotaging my goals. Everybody's got a monkey on their back. And what a coach does is they help you excise that monkey. And it's not even that big of a deal. It's not like you just got to look at it. And when you look at it, it gets smaller. And then you can work with it. Yeah, so I think the hardest person to lead is yourself, because this is a psychosocial relationship. You need somebody else to pull that pole so that you can start to get some motion. Because really all of these systems is trying to achieve flow. That was my cat just came in the room. It's trying to achieve flow. And flow is like that effortless effort. And I know dancers, I know musicians, I know athletes know what flow is. For me, it comes to me when I'm speaking and when I'm playing music. If I like it because it feels good. I also like it because it gets results. But when I really think at the end of the day, like, what do I want out of my life? It's like I just want to feel good while doing awesome stuff. And that's one of the moving towards versus away things, right? I want to do more of this thing because it feels good versus I want to do less of this thing because it's hurting me. Or I'm going to bully myself into being disciplined. No, I love myself. And if I can be disciplined, it's easier to get into that flow that feels so good. It's like, I know people call long distance runners crazy masochists, but that runner's high. Doing the hard thing until you get that awesome, ecstatic, euphoric type of bliss that comes from hitting your stride. I think that's what we're all striving for when it comes to mastery. And I think I know a coach can help. Even the pros have coaches. Especially the pros have coaches. They don't try to coach themselves. So why are you trying to lead yourself?